Hey guys, so today's lead coding problem is 905. Actually, problem number 905, which is sort array by parity. So the problem statement is pretty straightforward. We are given an integer array nums, and we need to move all the integers, I mean the even integers at the beginning and the odd integers at the end, towards the end of the array, and we need to return that resulting array. So it's pretty straightforward, and if you look at the sample test case, so it's like 3124, an array given, and the output is 2431. Why? Because 24 are the even numbers pushed towards the beginning of the array, and 31 are the odd numbers pushed towards the end of the array. And however, it is saying that the outputs 4231 and 2413 or 4213 are also acceptable, which means there is no order to be followed. It's just that all the events should be at the beginning and followed by all the odd numbers. Okay. The other test case is nums, wherein we just have one single element in the array, which is 0, and it is written as is. So obviously if we had one, it would be written as is. The constraints are like the length is going to be greater than 1 and less than 5000, and same is the case with the every element in the nums array. So that's fine, it's pretty straightforward. And one way to solve this is to maintain two separate arrays. You would traverse over this array, and for every element you are on, you would check if it is an even number, you would store in a separate array which is even. If it is odd, you would store in a separate array uh, which would be odd array or something like that. And towards the end you will just combine both the arrays, first traversing through the even one and then traversing through the odd one, and combining into a resulting array and returning it. The other approach, which is quite easier and would also better in terms of space complexity, because in previous case you would be using three arrays. But for this, what you can do is you can have two pointers starting from, I mean, one pointer would start from here and the other would start from the end, and you will check if the number is divisible by 2 and the remainder is 0, which is basically modulo 2 and you're getting a 0. So it would be inserted at the first, I mean the even index. Let's say the first one we are calling it as an even index, and with the pointer at the end is odd index. So we'll be just checking every element in the array. If it is even, put it at the even index. If it is odd, put it at the odd index. And likewise we'll increment the even index once inserted and decrement the odd index once inserted. So this I believe should be the easier approach. So let's try to do it. So first of all, we'll need to create a resulting array, right? So that would be integer, let's call it as result. This would be nothing but have the same size as the nums array, length. Okay, now let's have an index which will monitor the even index. Let's say start, yeah, obviously it has to start from 0, and the odd index has to start from the end. So it will be nums dot length -1. Let's loop over the array. For every number in the nums array, we are going to check if it is divisible, if number mod 2 is 0, if it is even. So for in the resulting array, at the even index you want that number, okay, if it is even. And here you want to increment the even index. Same is the case with the odd one. So you will say if number mod 2 is not equal to 0, or let's say equal to 1, which is odd. In that case, in the resulting array at the odd index, you want that number. Okay, and you want to decrement the odd index as well. So minus, and I think this is it. So we'll just return the result. Let's check. some error. It has to be nums, right? So the sample test cases are passing. Let's try to submit. Hmm. So this was today's lead code problem. See you tomorrow.